Mary Collins, Adrian Butterfield and I are working together on a long-term dance research project to produce a book, a DVD and an online resource to demonstrate how the music and the dancing relate to each other in all the different movements of the Baroque dance suite.
I'm a specialist in Baroque dance, not only performing it but researching it, and also particularly interested in how it relates to the music, because one of the really important principles, the more one finds out about the dance and the more one studies the original dancing masters, who were quite often themselves musicians, you see that the two art forms are inextricably linked, so that the dancer is another line of the music and the musicians and the dancers are one ensemble.
It's rare to see that dance happening at the same time as the music. So we are performing a lot of music that was actually danced to at that time, as well as music that was inspired by that dance but was not necessarily danced to.
We find that by getting to know specific dance steps and patterns, we can begin to understand their effect on the tempo, the phrasing and especially the character of each dance.
We as a group play on period instruments, which means we are trying to recreate something of the music, the style of the music, the way it was played at the time that the music was performed. And of course it was brand new then and we try to make it feel brand new now. But the dance aspect of it has not been investigated as strongly and as intensely, and I have found that working with the Baroque dancers that I've worked with, Mary Collins and Stephen Player in particular, I've been really challenged about the way I've played this music and thought about this music. When I see the dance, I'm inspired by it, particularly by the character of each dance, which is not what I didn't understand that before, and it has really made me rethink so much of how I play that music.
The dance rhythms themselves have different characters and different personalities, and that allows you not only to express emotion, rather like an orator, so it's very rhetorical, but also the juxtaposition of dances means that quite often the whole dance suite is one organic performance in itself and sometimes takes you through a narrative.
I mean, some of these theatrical dances, if we look at them on, you think, well, that's quite ridiculous, I mean, that's stupid. But actually, people still laugh at it today. What I want to do, what we should be trying to do, is to change the expectations and the aesthetic. You know, people come to a concert, I'm going to listen to Bach and Handel. They expect a performance of his music as they would listen to it in their front room. Well, I'm sorry, but Bach and Handel were living men, and Bach had 20-odd children, Handel was obese and liked food and had all kinds of other vices. And these people, they may have written beautiful music, but they had a vitality and an earthiness that we should not put them on a pedestal and say, oh, Bach's a god. Well, yes, he's a genius, but he's a person, he's a human.
And he also learned how to dance. He did Baroque dancing himself.
He did dance, so he did dance.
We know that he danced, and he danced taught by someone who actually came from Versailles and had been working with Lully. So these people who say, well, you can't dance to Bach, or Bach wasn't really intending it for dance. If the premise is always, as far as we're concerned, is if a piece of music has a dance title, then the composer intended it to relate to that dance. Even if it wasn't to accompany a dance, you should clearly hear the dance in the music.
Thank you.